The air is a hard sound here. It feels thin and bright. When you breathe, your breath freezes near your mouth. A small cloud hangs for just a moment, a puff of white crystals. The ground looks white and clean under a sharp, unforgiving blue sky. Then there is the number, -71 degrees Celsius. This is not just cold, it is a state of being, a force that dictates every single rule of existence. It belongs to another world, yet it is right here. Where does such a profound cold exist? Oymyakon, a tiny Siberian village, the pole of cold. Here, human settlement has somehow taken root and held on. In these places, life is not a given. It is a small, carefully managed flame, protected against a wind that wants to extinguish it. Nature offers few second chances. To stand in this air is to feel the world slow down. Every small action requires thought and intention. Stepping outside is a procedure, a ritual of preparation. The cold presses in on you like a physical weight. Tiny exposed parts of skin sting, then go numb. Metal becomes brittle, able to shatter. The air feels hostile. Living and working here is living at the edge of what is humanly possible. This environment strips away everything non-essential. Warmth, shelter, the company of others. It is something else. How do you keep a home warm when the outside air is -71 degrees Celsius? The answer begins with building a fortress. Houses in these extreme climates are not just shelters, they are life support systems. The walls are incredibly thick, packed with multiple layers of high-performance insulation to trap every precious bit of heat. Windows are a weak point, so they are kept small and are often triple or even quadruple glazed. Every door is sealed with heavy-duty weather stripping to prevent the slightest draft. In many Arctic towns, homes are built on stilts, lifting them off the frozen ground to prevent the permafrost from melting and destabilizing the foundation. Inside these fortresses, the heart of the home is the heating system. These systems run constantly, powered by oil, natural gas, or in some research stations, electricity from powerful generators. A failure is not an inconvenience, it is a critical emergency. A home can become dangerously cold in just a few hours if the heat goes out. Because of this, people become experts in their own survival systems. They check their heaters daily, know how to make basic repairs, and always have backup plans. The hum of the furnace is the constant, reassuring soundtrack to life in the deep cold. Personal clothing is another kind of fortress, a mobile shelter for the human body. The secret to staying warm is not one thick coat, but many intelligent layers. The base layer, worn against the skin, is designed to wick away sweat, because moisture is a fast track to freezing. The middle layers, often made of fleece or down, are for insulation, trapping body heat in pockets of air. The final outer layer is a tough shell, built to be windproof and waterproof, protecting the delicate inner layers from the harsh elements. Every piece of clothing is chosen with purpose and care. Dressing to go outside is a deliberate, unhurried process. A hat is essential, as is a face mask or a balaclava to protect the skin and warm the air before it enters your lungs. Breathing the raw, frigid air directly can damage the throat and airways. Hands are covered with 2 pairs of gloves, a thin liner for dexterity and a thick, insulated mitten over it. Boots are heavy, rated for extreme temperatures, and often have removable felt liners that can be dried out each night. In this world, your clothing is not about fashion. It is your armor, your first and last line of defense against a cold that is always waiting. Well, it really is survival. Water behaves strangely at -71 degrees Celsius. It is a solid, not a liquid. River, lake, frozen solid, sometimes several feet deep. The ground is locked in permafrost. For communities and research stations, the most reliable source of water is the snow itself. Huge snowmelters turn pristine snow into liquid water. That water is boiled, passed through sophisticated filtration systems to make it safe to drink. The process is energy-intensive. Once water is created, keeping it liquid is the next challenge. All water pipes must be meticulously protected from the cold. In towns, main water and sewer lines are buried deep underground. In other areas, pipes are wrapped in electrical heat tape. Inside buildings, pipes are run through heated spaces. A burst pipe is a catastrophe. Spilled water will freeze into a dangerous, expanding block of ice within minutes, capable of destroying structures. Food, like water, requires careful planning and management. In these frozen lands, traditional agriculture is nearly impossible. The growing season is too short. The soil is frozen for most of the year. Most food must be brought in from thousands of miles away by truck, by ship, by plane. In remote research stations, the bulk of the year's supplies arrives during the brief summer season. Teams must store enough food to last through the long, dark winter months. Pantries are filled with canned goods, dried grains, frozen items. Fresh food is a rare and precious commodity. A delivery of fresh fruit, a delivery of fresh vegetables is a major event. Kitchens become central hubs of warmth and community. Hot foods like thick soups, hearty stews, baked breads are not just comforting. They help the body generate and maintain its internal heat. Cooking itself consumes more energy, as ingredients stored indoors are colder than usual. Every meal is a small victory against the cold outside. In a world that runs on technology, extreme cold is the great equalizer. Machines become fragile and unpredictable at -71 degrees Celsius. Large construction vehicle partially covered in snow. Mechanic with propane torch heating engine block. Metal turns brittle. A simple steel wrench can snap like a twig under stress. A vehicle axle can snap like a twig under stress. Rubber hoses lose their flexibility. Seals lose their flexibility. They crack and cause leaks. Oil thickens into a tar-like sludge. Grease thickens into a tar-like sludge. Engines seize up completely. Moving parts freeze in place. Even the most robust machinery can be brought to a halt by the cold's invisible grip. Electronics are just as vulnerable. LCD screens slow down and freeze, rendering displays unreadable. Batteries are one of the first things to fail. Phone batteries die in minutes. Camera batteries die in minutes. Vehicle batteries lose power quickly. Radios are vital lifelines. Satellite phones are vital lifelines. People keep electronics inside their warmest layers, close to body heat, and carry spare batteries. Transportation is a constant battle against the elements. Vehicles are heavily modified to operate in these conditions. They use Arctic-grade fuels. They use synthetic oils that resist thickening. Engines are equipped with block heaters, plugged in for hours before starting. Sometimes vehicles are left running for days or weeks. Tires run at lower pressures for traction. Tires can become hard and brittle. Even simple everyday objects can fail. A plastic zipper on a jacket can shatter. The ink in a pen can freeze solid. Glasses can instantly fog moving indoors, and the moisture can then freeze when you step back outside. People who live and work here carry comprehensive toolkits and spare parts. They become skilled mechanics, coaxing machines back to life with patience, with ingenuity, and often with a powerful blowtorch. It's a harsh school. The human body is a remarkable machine, but, well, it was not designed for -71 degrees Celsius. The health risks are immediate and severe. The most well-known danger is frostbite. When skin is exposed to this level of cold, the water in the cells begins to freeze. It can happen in less than a minute. The first sign is a waxy white appearance and a feeling of numbness. If not treated quickly, frostbite can cause permanent damage to skin, muscle, bone. People are trained to constantly check their own faces and the faces of their partners for these telltale white spots. A more insidious threat is hypothermia. This occurs when the body loses heat faster than it can produce it, causing the core body temperature to drop to dangerous levels. The early signs are often subtle: uncontrollable shivering, confusion, slurred speech, drowsiness. This is particularly dangerous because the person may not realize what is happening to them. This is why the buddy system is a non-negotiable rule. No one works or travels alone. Your partner is your safety net, responsible for watching you for any signs of trouble. Medical care in these remote locations is highly specialized. Doctors and medics are trained to deal with cold-related injuries. They know that treating frostbite is a delicate process. The old myth of rubbing the affected area with snow is not only wrong, it is dangerous, as it can cause more tissue damage. The correct procedure is to warm the area slowly and gently, usually in warm water. Treating severe hypothermia is even more complex, requiring careful, gradual rewarming of the body's core to avoid shocking the system. Prevention is always the best medicine. Beyond physical health, the psychological challenges are significant. The long months of darkness during the polar winter, combined with the isolation and confinement, can take a toll on mental well-being. Section 6. Navigating the White Desert. Travel in a frozen world. Traveling at -71 degrees is not a casual affair. It is a carefully planned expedition. The landscape is often a whiteout. The snow-covered ground and overcast sky blend. The horizon vanishes. Roads can disappear under drifting snow in a matter of minutes. Important routes are often marked with tall poles or flags placed close together. Following these markers is the only way to navigate safely when visibility drops to zero. Even a short walk from one building to another can become perilous without a guide rope to hold onto. The mode of transport depends on the distance and the terrain. For short distances, people may use skis. For short distances, snowshoes are common. For longer journeys, specialized tracked vehicles are often the most reliable option. Snowcats, built to move over deep snow. Air travel is possible, but only under specific conditions. Planes require engine heaters and de-icing procedures. Runways must be kept clear of snow and ice, a constant job for ground crews. A flight can be delayed for days if the weather is bad. If the temperature drops too low, or if the wind is too strong, the polar night adds another layer of complexity to travel. For several months, the sun never rises above the horizon. The world is plunged into a perpetual twilight, or complete darkness, broken only by the moon, the stars, and the powerful artificial lights of the settlement. All outdoor work and travel must be done under these lights. This constant darkness disrupts the body's natural rhythms, affecting sleep and mood. People rely on strict schedules and routines to maintain a sense of day and night. Getting up, working, eating at set times. Before any journey, no matter how short, a strict protocol is followed. A detailed travel plan is filed. The route is outlined, the destination is recorded, and the estimated time of return is noted. Communication is key. Everyone carries a radio. Regular check-ins are mandatory. Survival gear is mandatory. Extra food, water, a first aid kit, a tent or emergency shelter, and a source of heat. In this world, you plan for the possibility the journey will go wrong. Being prepared is not just a good idea. It is the only way to ensure you come back. Section 7. A laboratory of ice. The purpose of being here. Why would anyone choose to endure such a hostile environment? For many, the answer is science. These frozen regions are unique and invaluable natural laboratories. The extreme cold, the pristine air, and the thick ice sheets hold secrets about our planet's past and clues to its future. Scientists from around the world gather here to conduct research that would be impossible anywhere else. Climatology, glaciology, astronomy, the very limits of life itself. One of the most important fields of study is glaciology. Scientists drill deep into the Antarctic and Greenlandic ice sheets, extracting ice cores that can be miles long. Each layer of ice corresponds to a year's snowfall. Trapped within the ice are tiny bubbles of ancient atmosphere. By analyzing these bubbles, scientists can measure the levels of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases from hundreds of thousands of years ago. This provides a direct record of past climate change, helping us understand the changes happening today. The clear air, dry air, stable air of the polar regions also makes them one of the best places on Earth for astronomy. With minimal light pollution and almost no water vapor in the atmosphere to distort the view, telescopes can capture incredibly sharp images of distant stars and galaxies. During the long polar night, astronomers have an uninterrupted window to the cosmos. They study the origins of the universe, search for new planets, and observe celestial events with a clarity that is unmatched by observatories in more temperate climates. This cold world is also a laboratory for human and technological endurance. Psychologists study how small, isolated groups cope with stress and confinement, with lessons that are directly applicable to long-duration space missions, such as a trip to Mars. Engineers and material scientists test new equipment, materials, lubricants to see how they perform under the most extreme conditions. The lessons learned from a failing engine or a fracturing piece of metal at -71 degrees lead to better, more reliable technology for everyone, from polar explorers to people living in less extreme winter climates. In the small Arctic towns where people have lived for generations, life has a unique rhythm, shaped by the cold and the seasons. For the children who grow up here, the rules of the cold are learned as early as the alphabet. They learn how to dress themselves in layers before they can tie their own shoes. They know not to touch bare metal with their bare hands. Play is different too. Sledding, skiing, building forts in the snow. Culture is a source of warmth when the temperature plummets. Traditions, stories, festivals. People gather for shared meals with family and neighbors. They tell stories passed down through generations. Tales of the hunt, tales of the long darkness, tales of the return of the sun. Music and art often reflect the stark beauty of the environment, celebrating light of the aurora, resilience of the local wildlife. Imagine a team of 4 researchers waking before the sun would rise, if it were to rise at all. They move through their morning rituals deliberately. They put on their many layers of clothing. They gather in the communal kitchen for a quick, hot breakfast. The team leader reviews the day's plan and checks the weather report. One person confirms the radio is working. Then, they step outside into the biting cold and walk the short distance to their lab, their faces protected, their steps careful on the packed snow. Inside the lab, they work with precision. They might be analyzing ice cores, carefully labeling samples to be sent back to universities around the world. They take meticulous notes, their pens sometimes freezing mid-sentence. At noon, they break for lunch, warming up with hot soup and conversation, a brief and welcome respite. The afternoon's work is a continuation of the morning's focus. As the day ends, they secure the lab, walk back to their living quarters, and log their day's work. The evenings are for reading, talking, or watching a movie, a quiet winding down before an early sleep, ready to do it all again tomorrow. To live at -71 degrees Celsius is to learn a profound lesson in humility. It teaches you that you are small and that nature is immensely powerful. The cold strips life down to its absolute essentials: shelter, heat, food, the company of another human being. When these basic needs are met, people discover they can not only survive, but also find meaning and purpose in one of the most challenging places on Earth. They learn to plan meticulously, to respect the power of the cold, and to build systems that allow life to continue even through the long, dark months. Yet this life is not just about endurance. It is also about resilience. It is about the incredible human capacity to adapt. In the face of overwhelming adversity, people innovate. They develop new technologies, refine safety procedures, and create tight-knit communities where helping a neighbor is as natural as breathing. This spirit of cooperation is the true warmth in a frozen world. In a place where a simple mistake can be fatal, people learn to look out for one another with a level of care and attention that is rare in the modern world. And amidst the hardship, there is an extraordinary and quiet beauty. The cold sculpts the world into breathtaking forms. Ice crystals glitter in the air like diamonds. The snow, untouched and pure, can glow with soft colors at sunrise and sunset. And then there is the aurora, the celestial ballet. Green, pink, violet. These moments of grace make people stop, look up, and feel a sense of awe. They are a reminder that even in the harshest of environments, there is wonder to be found. In the end, the story of life at -71 degrees Celsius is a hopeful one. It shows us that with knowledge, preparation, and community, we can face down incredible challenges. The scientists working in these frozen laboratories are expanding our understanding of the planet, providing vital information that helps protect our shared future. The people who call these places home demonstrate that a rich and meaningful life is possible anywhere. They show us that we are not defined by our limitations, but by our ability to overcome them, to find warmth in the cold, and to build a home at the very edge of the world.